Hi, this is for the runners. This is a little sequence of stretching that is going to talk about the anatomy of kind of your lower body, upper body, how they relate to one another through the hub of the body. We can consider that the pelvis. Here, even on my knees, is going to put some challenge and stress into the hips, right here in the crux where the hips kind of flex, and into the upper thighs. It's hard for a lot of people to bend their knees like this. If this isn't challenging, here's a modification for you. If it is, stay here. I'm just going to tuck my weight forward and reach down under. To put all 10 toes on the ground. I'm going to try and keep my inner thighs close to one another, and you can see that my hips are kind of angled forward. What that's going to do is create a curvature in my lumbar spine. It kind of looks like the letter D. Since I'm mirroring you, it's probably going to look like the opposite of a D. So because of this run, I can really feel this in the arches of my feet. There's a line that connects the entirety of the back body. It goes from the arches of the feet all the way up to my forehead. And this continuum of connective tissue is part of what I can get to when I create just a little stretch like this. It's intense. The trick, as always, with any practice, is breathing. So, ideally, the shoulders are over the hips. That's going to help drive the weight down into the arches of the feet. And to come out, we'll lean forward, bring the tops of the feet into the ground. Hands are underneath the shoulders and just lean back. Lift your knees up off the ground just a little bit. We'll come up onto the knees and bring your left knee forward. The knees stacked over the ankle. And I prefer to have my back toes tucked. That allows me to get deep into my psoas, which is a muscle that comes off of kind of where the low ribs meet the low back, all the way down to the upper inner thigh. It's the muscle that shortens when you sit at a desk. It's the muscle that gets tight on long road trips from being shortened. So, with my toes tucked back here, I'm just going to engage into my right toes, press into them. That's going to help drive my hips forward a little bit. I'm just looking for a little bit of stretch here in this front hip. Remember, the hips we're referring to them kind of like the hub of a body. So this central meeting point of, let's call it ascending and descending forces, the upper body and the lower body in this case. And every time we're interfacing here, there's refinements. So with this, I want you to take that left heel and draw it back in towards the right knee. You'll feel the inner thighs hug together almost like the scissors, right? When you go to cut some paper, just drawing that inner thigh closer towards one another is going to accentuate the stretch in that left hip. Back toes pressing into the floor, just driving that hip forward. If we'd like to go deeper, we're just going to take the arms up and feel the relationship of this upper body by taking your left hand, wrapping it around the right wrist, and externally rotate the palm. So that'll take the palm to face towards the ceiling and the side of the mat that's facing the camera. From here, using my left arm, I want to actually plug the shoulder back into the socket. Create a little bit more compression there. See if you can use the right tricep to straighten the arm overhead and then turn, driving the weight just a little bit out past the left knee, left hip, left shoulder line, and breathe through the side waist. Back toes are tucked. Contest that hugging of the right left heel back towards the right knee. And then we'll use the left hand to draw the arm up and out of the shoulder as you follow the breath kind of to the fullest expression of that pose and back. You'll feel the left side, right side of the body flush, just with fluid release. From here, we're going to untuck the back toes. Alternatively, you can also practice this with untucked back toes, by all means. We're just going to walk the front leg straight. Hands come down to the earth and just support the upper body's weight as, again, we're drawing that left heel back towards the right knee. This kind of low stretch is for the hamstrings in the front leg, and you can play with each of those hamstrings by turning the toes as if they were the face of a clock and the hour hand just rotating. So from 11 o'clock, you've got a little bit more stretch into the inner side of the leg. From 1 o'clock, a little bit more stretch through the outer side of the hamstring. Hamstrings are a collection of muscles on the back side of the leg. They oppose the quadriceps, which is the front side of the leg, which we use a lot when we're running. So to come forward, just kind of find a low lunge. You can bring your elbow onto the front thigh, that's your quadricep. Keep the back toe top of the foot pressing down into the floor, and from here, again, just lengthen both arms up. See if you can create lift and separation between the low back and the torso. Arms are light, fingers are engaged and bright as you feel rooted to the earth through both feet and the right knee. Forgive me. We'll come back to center. And just give yourself a little bit of inner thigh stretch. The left leg, we want to kind of open up the groin. Keep the back toes, top of the foot pressed down. And we're not going too far here. We're just kind of reminding the hip that there's space. Come back to center, and we'll rotate to the other side. So again, noticing that the right knee is beneath the ankle. The back toes are tucked. You can try it untucked. I like it tucked to start, and then we try the variation on the second round. Feel the pelvis almost like a gyroscope. What that means is there's almost 6 sides to a star, and each one is adaptable. So rather than having the hips kind of be rotated, we're looking to find what feels like as neutral a position as we can. Using those back toes tucked into the earth, that's going to help us find this articulation through the hip, a little bit more stretch through the low back. And again, the right ankle, heel drawing back towards the left knee, engaging that inner thigh, creating a drawing in, a collecting of our energy towards the midline as we lengthen the arms up. We'll externally rotate. It's actually internally rotating the arm. As the right wrist wraps around the left. Plug the arm back into the shoulder socket. Engage the tricep. Reacquaint yourself with the low body, the feet, knees, and hips. And then on the inhale, we'll lengthen up and over. Follow your breath. Stay engaged through all the different aspects of the body here, the lower body and the upper body. Threading throughout all of those aspects is the breath. That's how we stay present. That's how you stay in the space of your body. This psoas stretch with the back toes tucked is getting into the quadriceps because of the continuous tissue. We'll walk, again, the right foot forward and just bring the arms to support yourself. If you've got blocks, you can use them here. You can turn them on one of the 3 different sides, whichever one makes it the most accessible for you to be in this position. Again, hugging that right heel back towards the left knee and sending the heart forward to create space in the hamstrings, the back of the right thigh. Stay in your breath and see if you can notice the association between the chest stilling, but most of the breath happening in the abdomen. Filling and releasing. Walk forward, bending the front knee, untuck the back toes. And again, finding neutral here before we lengthen up. Stretching in all 10 directions. Really allow the breath to be expansive, spacious in this space. Swap the legs. We'll try that other groin, just giving it a little simple sense of space in a different dimensional angle. We want to just draw and open the inner thigh. Just as a simple reset here, I'm going to come with my feet parallel to one another into a chair. Fingers bright. This helps recruit more effort through the arms, forearms, shoulders, right through the side waist and down into the hips. The more we can sit here, the more space. This is a really good functional test of the knees. If you're able to move this freely, it's a good sense that everything in the body is working pretty good. Not a lot of need for a physiotherapist or a surgeon for that matter. Bottoms of the feet together, knees press out wide. Lift the heart forward and up. Very simple routine. Even just to take 15 minutes away from your desk to break up the routine and give yourself a little bit more space for sitting for the long hours that you do. My name is Ramesh, and I hope that this has been helpful to you. I trust that it has, and really practices like this, they just require us showing up and investing time and attention into them. So please, if you'd like, there's more resources on this channel. Feel free to subscribe. You can click the link, or you can follow along by liking this page. I hope you're having a great day and that you're being kind to yourself.